Digital payments in high risk. Insights from the leading processor. With Max Krupyshev, CoinsPaid.
Okay, everyone. I see some people standing, maybe willing to listen. Just don't be shy, have a seat. We will speak a bit about what the guys on the panel before spoke about, how to behave in the bear market, how to increase your revenues even during those times, and how to spread the adoption of crypto and work on UI, UX, and stuff. So yeah, my name is Max Krupyshev. I'm the CEO of Crypto Processing and CoinsPaid. This is one of the brands of the CoinsPaid. And we will have 20 minutes. I try to fit what I want to tell you in 15, and then we work with the questions, right, from you, Stas, for example. Okay, I'm trying to find place to walk. Okay, 1 square meter should be good. Okay, so we managed to be doing quite good recently, right? So we are the biggest crypto processing in the world, which I'm very proud of. So we process over 1 billion euros a month. Right now, with the crypto winter, is slightly less again, but overall is 20 billion processed, 22 million of transactions. Right now, we are doing 1.5 million transactions a month, which is basically a transaction every 3.5 seconds, right? Which makes it quite many, and we process around 7-8% of all Bitcoin transactions that are happening in the blockchain. We see that the crypto adoption is growing together with the business's adoption of crypto, and I think these two things they cannot go separately, right? Is the microphone working, right? Okay. So as you heard on the panel before, right? People said like, what is the key for adoption? They said big businesses need to work with crypto, right? So people see real utility. I recently was speaking with the people like on the balcony on the crypto event, and I was writing the diploma about cryptocurrency a few years ago, and then I stopped because over the years I saw no utility. I understand that crypto is just sort of the speculation method. Let's play a bit of interaction, right? Who is already accepting crypto payments and know about crypto and basically here just to, I don't know, to probably hear something new? Okay, guys, so you're good. Okay, who decided to go but haven't decided how to? Okay, we have a small audience for these games, really. So anyways, I want to tell you what are the advantages, in my opinion, for the business to consider using cryptocurrencies, and potentially on this event, which is sort of / gaming plus AI plus blockchain. I think it's the best place to really speak about that, right? I was thinking what is the easy way to sort of classify them, and I think it's sort of fits in 3I, right? It's international, which is of course needed for brands who are willing to grow globally, and you know, crypto casinos are appearing here and there, and their goal is to go completely global, not to go for the country specific, but to go sort of for the interest specific, right? So everyone who has crypto, who have access to crypto, and so on. Irreversible, right? So any business, especially in the high risk, who become victims of fraud, of chargebacks, and so on quite often, this is a very good option because cryptocurrency is irreversible. I mean, if you're selling goods online, you probably have the policy for refunds, but of course you understand that we are speaking about fraud really, and not just the refunds. And instant. When I say instant, it might be a bit of cheating, right? With some blockchain, it takes around 1 minute, but with Bitcoin, for example, we are managing this within seconds without confirmations in the blockchain. Speaking about the countries, probably not important right now. There are some places where cryptocurrency is sort of treated to be not really legal. So in those countries, you should not be expecting such a penetration of crypto as a payment method or as an asset that your customers might hold. Now let's speak about the trends, right? Where we see the market is going right now in the sense of cryptocurrencies and blockchains which are used for payments. This is important for you if you already accept crypto or you plan to accept crypto, to follow new blockchains and to follow new assets. In the recent years, cryptocurrencies and blockchains are independent, right? So you can pay Bitcoin on Bitcoin network, you can pay Bitcoin on Ethereum network, on Tron network, on Solana network, and so on. So there is a disconnection between an asset and the blockchain where it is used. So what we see right now, speaking about Bitcoin, we use Bitcoin only on Bitcoin blockchain. So volumes slightly decreased for Bitcoin, increased for Ethereum. With Litecoin, there is no real change. With the dog, a small decrease. And what is interesting that we see a complete shift in USDT from ERC into the TRC. Every one of you who use USDT for payments, you noticed, right, that you now started using more of the Tron blockchain than Ethereum blockchain. Transaction amounts. What happened with the average transaction? You see, majority of the big ones literally decreasing, right? So we see the small decrease for Bitcoin average transaction size in euros, right? So I'm not speaking about Bitcoin amount. I'm speaking about the euro equivalent, because as a business we don't usually care how many cryptocurrency we received. We are interested what is the value of this cryptocurrency. So with Bitcoin, there is a small decrease. Ethereum is going up slightly. The rest are without a big change, and we see that USDT on Tron is getting some traction as well and is increasing transaction amounts. So here you can see really in the numbers, right? What is really happening with the average transaction. So sort of obvious that Bitcoin average transaction is higher than the one, for example, with LTC and the Doge. But for Ethereum, it's quite unusual. I mean, I was surprised to see this dynamics, honestly, that Ethereum is mostly used for more like a high rollers, right? Whose average deposit is over €1,000. But in general, you see all of them have a slight decrease this year. It might be connected with the bear market as well, because this statistics already includes June. What is the takeout, right? What we can see from what is happening right now in the industry, in the market, right? So I see that the amount of the payments for our clients, they grow. So all our clients are organically grow, even if their business is quite stable. They see the higher percent of payments going into crypto. Just an example, right? If someone has only 1% of all the payments just last year, this year he will have 2% of his payments in crypto, right? So this is growing approximately twice a year. Bitcoin dominance decreases, right? So 5 years ago, everybody were asking, how can I accept Bitcoin? Right now, everybody asking, how can I accept cryptocurrencies? Right? So everybody understands that Bitcoin is sort of not the king for the payments, right? It's still, I believe, the strongest cryptocurrency. It will stay the strongest, more decentralized for many years. But for payments, it's just not suitable. I mean, it's an old technology, right? If you think it was invented, in 2008 and launched in 2009, just remember how iPhones were during that time, right? It's an old technology already. So average transaction decreases, but the amount of transactions grow and volume spread among different cryptocurrencies, coins, and especially stable ones, right? So right now we don't see any traction for USDC. I think it's mostly connected with our work with our clients, that they don't offer USDC. But overall in the world, we see that USDC traction is growing. Also, BUSD is something very interesting, very much supported by Binance. And of course, BUSD is running on the Binance Smart Chain, which is very similar to Ethereum. It's quick, but also very, very cheap, right? So we will see if we have some shift until the end of the year into BUSD more. And the processing costs, basically, that you can get while using the cryptocurrencies are much lower than you will have with cards, with the Neteller, with Skrill, and so on. So we are speaking usually around 1% or below. We recently launched the token, which is sort of a loyalty asset in our system. And with the help of that asset, you can get even up to 50% discounts. Just a simple example, right? Comparing usage of cryptocurrency to usual methods. On the volumes of 1 million income of deposits months over the year, by using a cheaper deposit method like cryptocurrency, you can save more than 250,000. Of course, the statistics depends on your amounts and your deals with acquirers or e-wallets, but in general, you understand that with crypto it would be much cheaper. I have the timer there. It says that we have 50 seconds left. The time doesn't fly so quick, right? What I think it can give you, right, just receiving cryptocurrencies, it gives you new instruments for the marketing, right? So it gives you the option not to go for usual affiliates that you use, right, but to go for some crypto-specific affiliates. And there is a hint from me, right now during the crypto winter, crypto projects don't buy so much advertising. So there is a space for gaming to buy those advertising spots on the CMC, I don't know, on some analytics websites, and so on. So right now the cost for the crypto user decreased, obviously. So it gives you a completely new approach for marketing. For some bigger, maybe more enterprise brands, many of them go for crypto just to show that they're innovative, you know, to be closer to young generation, right? To show that they are sort of following the new trends and so on. For casinos, I don't know how applicable is that, because you're also innovative, right? Your innovation is all about like how you live, how you think, and so on. And less intermediaries to deal with, right? So when we speak about acquirers, there you have to deal with the acquiring bank, who might not be supporting some of your issuers of your clients, or vice versa. Your acquirer might be blocked by the issuers of the card. So anyways, you have the whole chain of suppliers with whom you have some risk of blocking the payments, or especially if you collect money from some very exotic jurisdictions, you might be working with through few intermediaries who change the MCC or whatever, and you have more risk on keeping money elsewhere in the world, might be in the very weird places in the end. Speaking about the safety and security and stuff, because there is a big misconception I very oftenly asked about more, you know, grown-up businesses. They ask, Max, you know, this cryptocurrency, it is, I know, it's fluctuating in price, right? And it might be involved in some strange operations, right? What are the consequences and risks for our business? So the easy answer, right, your crypto provider, I mean anyone who professionally allows you to set cryptocurrency, will shield you from majority of those risks, right? They will exchange your cryptocurrency into fiat on the spot. They will check if this money are not stolen, if this money are not arriving from the darknet, from mixers, or whatever. And everyone who professionally dealing with your funds, they of course care about your funds. They have their internal procedures, they have the tooling, they have security audits, and so on. We'll give you an example, right? We have the two-stage risk scoring system, right? When we check through few databases of the blockchain addresses for majority of the currencies, so we know what's the nature of funds, right? So we're shielding businesses to receive funds that you don't really want to deal with, or at least we inform you as soon as you receive them. We don't have any rolling reserves, right? So we don't block your funds. The moment you have deposit cleared, you can get them to your bank account or to withdraw in cryptocurrency. You can automate this process. You can set up the limits and so on, right? So I think it's very important for those of you who are in crypto for a long time. It's obvious, right, that you don't keep a lot of money on the hosted wallets, right? You don't keep a lot of money on exchanges. Here you have also need to have the same sort of approach. And as our development is very, very active, right, we have approximately 60 team members, like developers across all the teams. So we develop a lot of software all the time, and doing security audits, hiring the white hat hackers, security experts from the side, right, to audit our system, new releases, and so on. We do it at least once a quarter. On top of that, we just have our own internal security system. What it gives you, right? I'm giving you the example how we do it, right? But when you are developing your own solution or you're going with someone else, just check that they sort of know what they're doing, right? Because in the end, why do you hear a bit of the sidetrack in our discussion? I was giving an interview to the Reuters I think last week, and they were asking about, like, Max, how do you feel why investors are sort of going away from crypto because they hear a lot of hacks in the news, right? This crypto exchange is hacked, this DeFi protocol is hacked, and so on. This happens because of the quick growth of the industry, right? projects which hit the nail on the business model, they start growing much quicker than they can really grow. And of course, they sacrifice the security, the processes, and so on to be able to grow. So I think it's sort of one of the big problems of the industry, that many people building products, companies, and so on, but they don't have the time or experience or priority to think about security, really. And it's very important, or for you to understand deeply how it works, or to trust your provider, sort of how it is done. And also majority of whom you work, and I think you should do it as well in your businesses if you deal with cryptocurrency, use the cold storages, right? So when you have clients' money and you don't need them on the hot wallets, there are plenty of technologies how can you move those money offline, and even in the attack of the security breach in your system, you should still be all right. Few things about developing your own software, right? For instead of using the provider, or additionally to using the provider, or whatever. Basically, what is the approach, right? You think when you develop your own system, in the long run, you will save a lot of the money, right? This might be true. This is, I saw experiments when it worked well, but majority of examples that I saw didn't go really well. Right, so in reality, the users are struggling a bit with the UX. Transactions are getting lost, in the sense, not really lost, but just the system, the nodes are missing some of the operations in the blockchain, which of course hurts the experience of the client. And making blockchains work quick and expected is also not really a piece of cake. So majority of everyone, even a lot of our competitors, they are not developing their own crypto, their own crypto wallets at all, right? So they rely on the BitGo, on the Fireblocks, or whatever. So the advantages of going with the provider, right? I'm not saying with us, but I highly recommend. Basically, what you can get, right, from the start, and it's sort of included in the box, and you don't really have to be creative and experimenting with your business, right? You have the verification of the money which are incoming, right? It's very clean for your accounting team. It's very clean for your financial team, and so on. They have the documents. They have the documents of the provider. They have the contracts with the provider. Then another proof is that we do have a license with the Estonian regulator, FIU. It was very sort of easy before. Right now it's much more strict. You get the data protection deals and the risk scoring. And if you develop it on your own, you will have to deal with all the legal, all the regulations, and all the paperwork to work with other providers, to work with other clients if you develop your own software. Basically, just an easier start is to go with the provider for the crypto payments. Whoever you decide will most likely have all those things that I said before. If they don't, at least now you know what to look for, right, and what to ask for. And now if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I think we have time for maybe 2-3 questions. Anyone? Okay, guys, we have a stand, so if you like to discuss anything, please do. If you want to speak with me, I will be hanging here for a few hours anyways. Thank you very much, everyone, and I wish you a great conference.